yet another session of Inspo Vibes with SK. I hope you all are well and safe in your homes. So, what are we going to talk about today? We'll talk about a word most commonly used and is the theme for a lot of Bollywood films as well, and the word is sacrifice. So, yes, when you think of sacrifice, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Mother. Because strangely, all of us associate sacrifice as being synonymous with mother. So, a bit about the origin of this word. It's originally from a Latin word called sacrificium, made up of two words, sacre, which means holy or sacred, and fisio, to do or make. So originally this word was used to refer to any act which was some kind of doing or making some kind of a sacrifice for some holy purpose. Then over the centuries, this word has come to mean any act which is done for some higher goal or some higher ideal, or so it has gone beyond just being holy sacrifice, right? So why do we always think mothers are equivalent to sacrifice? A mother will always give up things close to her for the sake of her children, right? And we always say it's because the mother loves the children. So let me show you some other stories and experiences that I have had in my life which show sacrifice is not just the copyright of mothers, and sacrifice is not just synonymous with mothers. Okay? The first story I have is of the soldiers that go to the borders, whether it is with China in Arunachal, or it is with Pakistan in Kashmir, or it is even on the glacier. When I was in the army and we used to be provisioning stores for these soldiers that go up to the Siachen glacier and they have to stay there for a period of 6 months, I would often wonder, these young men, 22, 23-year-old, going up and staying on the glacier where there is only and only white snow all around. You don't know when the sun rises, when the sun sets, and what season it is. Are there any flowers? Nothing. For as far as the eye can see, it's just pure white snow. You want to wash your face? You take a mug of ice and come inside and heat it on the stove and wash your face. You want to drink water? Go dig a mug of ice, melt it and drink. And then what kind of food? Right? They would have all kind of packaged high calorie food, your fruities, your chocolates, your dry fruits, because fresh cooking, unimaginable, rarefied air, hardly any oxygen. So what is it that makes these soldiers sacrifice the comforts of their home, their families, the warmth of their loved ones, right, and go up and live there for 6 months on end? Is it just because of a salary? What makes them sacrifice all these basic comforts that we think are the given and we cannot do without them? Worth thinking. Often people would say, well, it's patriotism. I would say it's something beyond that. Then another story, which was also in our textbook, when we were in school. It's about a couple and they love each other so much and they want to gift each other something, but they are quite poor. They don't have enough money to buy each other Christmas presents. So this lady, I remember her name was Maggie. She has beautiful long hair. So for Christmas, she wants to give her husband a strap for his watch, which is the only watch he had. So she goes to a parlor, sells her hair, and with that money, she goes and buys a strap for his watch. The husband, I forget his name, also wants to gift something to his wife, and he knows that his wife loves her hair very much. So he sells his watch and goes and buys her a beautiful hairpin. And on Christmas, when they both exchange gifts, they both realize what they have given to each other is they have sacrificed their most dear possession simply to show their love for each other. They gave up what they loved in order to show their love for each other. So, what is it about these two? They are not mothers, but they sacrificed things that they loved for bringing happiness to the other. As I was a child growing up, and we were 4 children in the family, and my father was the only earning member, I remember so many times when we needed to prioritize what we are going to spend on, my father would silently go without new pair of clothing. He would so many times postpone buying a car. Many times he would postpone even tanking up fuel in the car that he eventually bought, simply because he wanted to divert those funds to some course that we wanted to do or some need that we had. So while we always saw the sacrifices of our mom in trying to bring us up, I took a long time to see the silent sacrifices of my father. Then you remember that story of the mongoose and the snake? The lady leaves her little baby in the cradle and asks the mongoose to guide and watch over this baby while she was gone. And there is a snake that comes into the room. The mongoose kills the snake in order to protect the baby. And when the lady comes back, sees the blood on the mongoose face, jumps to the conclusion that the mongoose has killed my baby, and she kills the mongoose. So the mongoose lost its life trying to do its duty with full dedication. The mongoose sacrificed his life for this. So we see that there are so many people, so many ways, and so many motives with which people sacrifice. So what is it that makes them sacrifice? Once again, I ask you, I think it's not the idea of getting something in return, because then it would be a compromise. It would be an agreement or a contract or a barter system. I give you this and in return you give me this. All these examples and stories that I have cited highlight to us only one thing, that it was done with a belief in an ideal, with the belief in a strong sense of duty, a strong sense of love for someone and bringing joy to someone else. So for sure, the concern for getting back something in return, even if it is just an acknowledgement or a gratitude or a gratification, is not there. So when that sense comes in, it becomes a compromise, or it becomes an agreement, or it becomes a deal. So sacrifice, my friends, is not just synonymous with mothers, and sacrifice is not a deal. It's done by a person voluntarily, happily, to give happiness to somebody else, generally for the people we love. And that's about it from me today, a short story on sacrifice. I hope you enjoyed listening to it, and if you have some incident to share where you saw a touching story of sacrifice, do write in your comments, do like and subscribe to my channel, Inspo Vibes with SK. Thank you for watching, and till we meet again on next Wednesday, take care, be safe, bye bye.